It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. Tell them, Canada Dry.
I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. It's time for DAD, the Godfather Show.
Hit the intro, damn it.
Tell me what's my age. Tell me what's my occupation. Tell me what's my race. Tell me is it with inflation. Tell me what's my age. Tell me what's my race. Tell me all my sexual distaste. Tell me what you need. Tell me how you feel. And tell me all your information. I wanna know. I wanna know. I wanna know.
Anything goes. It's Dynamite After Dark.
Kaboom, kablooey, kazam. Holy cow. What a night. Wednesday Night Dynamite. I am, of course, your Prime Minister of Sinister. I am the MC to the Hammer. I'm the JFB, James from Boston.
And of course, the Green Lantern of Sector 734-910.
Yeah.
And I'm also that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada Dry, damn it.
Canada Dry, always smooth. We are a trios champion of podcast wrestling history. Say hello, Trey J Styles.
This man right here.
I just really want to talk about something before we get started because, I've been doing this show for quite some time, pretty much since we started it.
Yep.
And, I always listen to the theme song and I always get caught up with I want to know. I love that stuff, right? But this time I actually listen to the words that come before that. And I'm like, yo, this song is rocking. Where'd you get that?
Yeah,
This is Bryce Newcomb's band.
Yeah, it's called Ladder Match.
Bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely has to give him a good shout out because I was
Ladder Match is amazing. We're so lucky to have them.
Heck
as
yeah.
our intro.
We are joined by our fourth, and that, of course, is gotta be the sexiest hair in podcast wrestling history. He's also the GM of Wreckage. Say hello.
Good evening, gentlemen. Yes, as the JFB has said, I'm a man of many titles.
Yes.
But most importantly, I'm number 4 tonight, so let's have a good time talking about some Dynamite.
Heck yeah. All right. So
Titles, I would like
He's
to
not
say
only that, he's the serial killer Golden Graham.
Yeah.
Speaking of titles, I do want to say that I am now the 3-time AFW effing world champion after this past Friday. So let's make it.
You need to go after the other title soon. You're sticking to one title.
I mean, it's hard to not be the best.
Yeah.
I've been this champion for over combined 100 days. So it's pretty cool.
My dad used to sing in the mirror every morning. He used to sing this. It's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every. And I was like, Dad, you got a freaking ego on you.
I love it. It's like aside real quick. When me and you first met, right? There was one time I think that your dad had come on to one of the shows that we did. Yeah. And your dad is, he was he was so full of love, man. And
Thanks,
I hope that you never lose that, because that's something I think that passed down to you too.
Yeah.
And that's just great to know that he had such a great effect, because he's a great guy, and so are you.
But I want to talk about something hard now.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Talking about family relationships.
Yeah, speaking of family.
Oh my goodness. So Sherry Lynn is Vicky Guerrero's youngest daughter.
Yep.
Eddie Guerrero's daughter.
Yeah.
And so apparently so she made a TikTok video. She wanted to get some things off her chest. She's been excommunicated from the family because she doesn't want to put up with her stepdad's abuse anymore. So apparently she was sexually abused by I guess Vicky's husband.
Yeah.
And so I was just rocked by watching it. It's like it brought emotions out of you. Like people like when people say she's faking. No, you can't fake that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some stuff.
She should work for freaking Hollywood.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But Vicky responded today.
Yeah.
And I was blown away by this response.
Yeah, I have the response. It's actually from Instagram. So Vicky Guerrero says, there are two sides to a story. Over 15 years, my relationship with Sherilyn has been hostile, and I've tried to deal with a narcissistic person. Not only myself, but close friends of Sherilyn of over 10 years and family have cut ties with her because of her maniac or manic behaviors. I tried to do therapy with Sherilyn, but she always said no, and that I'm sick, not her. Sherilyn, please tell your side of your character of being drunk on a cruise and having guys in your room and then crying because you think you were raped, then demanded us to go to a pharmacy in the Bahamas for Plan B. You want to play dirty and sling Chris and I through the mud? I have my own pile of mud from you. It goes on. It's salty, but yeah, I mean, I watched the video and that was heart-wrenching to watch her. But she's a kick-ass woman. She's taking control of her life, you know, and she's calling these people out that need to be called out.
Can I add one thing? If we can talk about Chavo Guerrero posted earlier today as well.
Yeah.
And he was letting everybody know, I think his came from last night, but he had stated that he had been supporting her privately for a number of years now. Yeah. And, you know, something like that almost functions as corroboration to the story. Like definitely something has happened.
Yeah.
So,
and I also heard that Shaul Guerrero confirmed that this sexual assault did happen.
Yeah, she did come out and say that it did happen. Yes.
Yeah.
So for the mother to come out like this, like kids have problems, right? Like no kid is perfect.
Yeah.
But that's the parents' job to help them along the way. And you're not like when you get sexually assaulted, you need that mother support more than ever.
Oh, definitely.
And absolutely. So that's gonna mess with you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're acting out after that, that's no surprise.
Yeah, exactly. I think you hit the nail right on the head. Do we want to dive into tonight?
Well, can I say something real quick? Like,
yeah, of course.
Because her response to me is absolutely sickening. Like, I can't believe those words came out of Vicky Guerrero's mouth. Yeah. To sit there and basically shame your daughter for being drunk, basically saying you deserve the sexual assault, that's complete horseshit.
Yeah.
Like the part where she says,
I have a 14-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old son. I would never turn my back on my kids like she did.
Yeah.
Like, that's cowardice.
Yep.
Like
she's a heel in real life.
It just makes me so angry. I'm like shaking right now just thinking.
Somebody said that Eddie Guerrero was spinning the world on its axis because of how much he's turning in his grave right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, speaking as a parent myself, it's just like if somebody did that to my kid, like I would shoot them, and if I was wrong, I'd have to just be wrong because it was just, I can't just turn my back on my kid, and I can't pick somebody over my kid.
Yeah,
like that's really what's happened here. You've excommunicado your child that you gave birth to.
Yeah, which is mind blowing.
Yeah, and it's like you're taking the word of this person. It's like people make up cover stories to. Talk about, it's like you're saying that this thing happened to you on this boat. And then she tells her mom, oh yeah, a bunch of guys raped me. I need a plan B, because you're looking at the accuser in their face. It's not uncommon to say there has been to try to come up with some sort of cover story for this. So,
yeah, I mean,
it's uncommon for women who are older in a relationship to do this because they don't know if they will ever meet anyone again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, mother, if you're going to take the responsibility of being a parent, then you need to take the responsibility of backing your child up all the time. I'm lucky I grew up with a pretty strict house, but one time I asked a question in my isms class because I went to a private high school, and the teacher started berating me, called my parents in to tell my parents that I was being a problem in the class. And when she said it's because he's asking too many questions, my mom, not my dad, my mom flipped out and stood her ground. And that is the reason why my mom kicks ass. And by the way, it's her birthday. So happy birthday, Mama Falcon.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday.
Mrs. Falcon.
Yeah.
That's not a falcon. That's a crow. But whatever.
I wasn't gonna correct you on this one this time. I was like, yeah, I don't have this one.
That's the worst falcon in I guess
History.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the lock, stock, and barrel, if you will. We start off. This is a we'll talk about this. I'll mention it through the show, but there was a rushed feeling with probably about 95% of the show. Just felt like they pressed on the gas and it kept going. But the first match we get is Ricky Starks versus my new name for him, Soft Serve Soda Jones. That's right. So basically he gets
I think we need a soft serve, something that just comes up every time he's in a match, that just comes on the screen.
I'm on it. Best damn intro song in the biz. I love Ricky Starks. I listen to it. I have a mix when I go for my run, and on it, my first one. Whoa, we lost Joseph Graham. My first song is Ricky Starks, and then I end with Adam Cole's Boom. Because those two songs are just freaking amazing. They brawl, and then here comes Jay White. So we know who's not going to WWE anytime soon. That would be Jay White. Starks starts fighting back, gets laid out. They basically left Starks in a heap. Canada Dry, you go first. Your thoughts on this, kind of a fugazi opening match.
I have a small request, though. Can you put us to the black lettering?
Oh, yeah.
So this was like a little fugazi, but the fact that Jay White was now in AEW was enough that this match didn't matter. So it was really cool. Everyone just cared that Jay White was there. So nobody even cared what happened to Ricky Starks.
Screw Ricky Starks.
Jay White.
That boy lost his leg. Screw it. Jay White's here.
Yes.
Trey J, your thoughts on the first match?
I had heard like a major rumor about Jay White, not signing with WWE. And just hearing that was really, really good. I think all of us saw like the different memes about how, Triple H basically was Pepperidge Farm remembers and all those different ones. And between Sunday and Monday, I think a lot of AEW talent was just like, I don't think this is for us.
Yeah. That's a skid into a complete stop.
Oh yeah. So definitely seeing that was definitely the meat and potatoes of this is just seeing Jay White. And it's actually really interesting that they open with it because a lot of times they try to save a lot of their surprises for the end. But I definitely think that it kind of correlates with what you said about them just hitting the gas early.
Yeah.
So the fact that they even had a brawl in the crowd, was something because it's one of those times where you advertised. And even though you didn't have the match, you still over-delivered in the segment. I think that was really good for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
For us as fans.
Joseph Graham, your turn. What did you think of the first match of the night?
I'm just glad to see Jay White in AEW, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I said this in our group chat, after this weekend and Monday, I felt like I hadn't watched AEW in about a month.
Yeah.
I was, especially after Monday, I was just ready for some wrestling. Monday left a bad taste in my mouth for sure.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to it. I'm curious as to if they're just going to stay as Bullet Club, or I'm look forward to what's coming next.
Yeah, I think in all honesty, we're going to get a faction of the Bullet Club in AEW, much like we had in Impact and in other locations where Bullet Club guys wrestle. So I see
Especially
it.
with Forbidden Door being a regular thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, here's the thing. I think any relationship now between New Japan and any other promotion is probably going to end really, really quick. I think they're going to hitch their ride to AEW because right now it ain't going to be WWE. That's for sure. Not after what happened, but yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a Bullet Club faction in AEW. So we go to a video package of Adam Cole, basically talking about Adam Cole's comeback and his win and stuff like that. And then we go to Tony Schiavone, the world's third best commentator and interviewer in wrestling history, with Jericho. Jericho said he didn't like the way Cole celebrated. He took it too far and too long. And then out comes Keith Lee. And did Keith Lee see a ghost? Like, I mean, like, I know the brother had gray, but I didn't realize it was like pure, almost white. I mean, it looked like a ghost scared the living crap out of him. And Lee kind of getting in his face and Jericho kind of bending back. I gotta love it. Trey J Styles, your thoughts on the Schiavone interview with Jericho?
Gotta say, man, Keith Lee reminds me of Uncle Drew. You remember that movie with Kyrie Irving, like the old man? Like, yes. If that won't descend, like, I was just like, is he getting ready for a new movie or something?
Yeah,
that man just,
it's Uncle Drew too.
Yeah, that's like the ghost of Keith Lee future or something.
Trey J, your name is covering like half the screen.
I know. Because it's just
you're like that's over your name.
I have to be like it's so like I'm proud of my accomplishments here and I want everybody to know.
So you should be.
Yeah.
But Keith Lee and Jericho was the best thing I never knew I needed.
Yeah.
I'm also beginning to worry. I was talking to someone else about this on the phone while I was watching this match, and I'm starting to feel like I'm worried that this may be Jericho's like way of hanging it up because it seems like he's getting all these dream matches out of the way.
True.
Like, he's really gonna like these feuds he's doing. Eventually, he's gonna go against Adam Cole. And that's a match that I think a lot of us would love to see. I think he's got like just kind of checking off boxes for a lot of people, and it's kind of like this is really interesting for him.
Yeah,
so
it's like a victory lap. I mean,
exactly.
He's taking a victory lap, which is what.
Well deserved.
Yeah, I mean, over 30 years of wrestling. Yeah, at some point you can't.
Greatest Canadian of our generation.
Yes,
does that work? I make sure I gotta check with the Godfather. Is that cool?
I don't know.
Like, let me think of all the other Canadians. Jericho, Mike Bailey. Yeah, I think he's got it. Like
Bret Hart's a different generation. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's kind of that in between generation. Joseph Graham, your thoughts on the segment?
So for me, Keith Lee saved this segment because listening to Jericho talk, he sounded like entitled or like.
Yeah.
I just thought the reason for him to be mad at Adam Cole was really stupid.
Yeah.
Like he celebrated too long. Well, yeah, he's been gone for 9 months. Of course they're going to celebrate the guy coming back. I mean, and of course his girlfriend's going to come out and show love and affection. If anything, it sounds like Jericho needs someone to show him some love and affection in his life.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. Canada Dry, your thoughts on the segment?
Okay, before I tell you what I thought about this segment,
we're
going to do a little segment here called "It's Confession Time" with Canada Dry, baby. All right. So, who is using Just for Men in their beards? Put up your hand. Oh, nobody.
No, I didn't know you could do that.
You didn't know it was available for you? You have gray in your beard or no?
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
I have like 1 or 2 gray hairs, not enough to.
I got a few, but I'm not bothering to use no Just for Men. And
you realize
I don't even have
gonna have one of those gray streaks that look like Mr. Fantastic, right?
Yeah. Oh, you do?
You look like Reed Richards, for fuck's sake. You don't want that.
He can pull it off.
Oh yeah. So keep going, Ken.
This was a good little segment. And I just think he, with the gray, I think he just doesn't care anymore. It's like, I don't want to have to freaking put that in my hair every single Like, I mean, you have to do that twice a week.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
at least.
Well, I mean, if
a lot
you
of
look
work.
at it now, like gray is like people are dyeing their hair gray. Like young people are going the gray route. So clearly, it's the in thing at the moment.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get on to the next segment.
Okay. Oh, Mr. Isaac is in the house. He says, "I got gray in my beard, never colored." See, I mean,
Yeah, be proud about that, Mr. Isaacs.
yeah,
Shows wisdom.
Yeah, you're going to get a standing ovation. All right, let's go to the second match of the night. House of Black versus Best Friends. Here's my notes. Love the House of Black's entrance. Absolutely amazing. Julia Hart growing on me each and every week. Sue coming in the minivan and dropping off the boys is I love how they just go back to Sue in the minivan. Like, that's just freaking awesome. I want Brody King to be my friend. I'm gonna stalk him. I'm gonna go to appearances. I'm not gonna work. I'm just gonna follow Brody King until he becomes my best friend. That's just the way it's gonna work. Beretta has some good ring IQ. I love how he works that ring and how he works a match. He's a legit general in the ring. Yeah, Beretta, Buddy Matthews, extremely underrated. I don't know why I don't know why he's never taken off as much as he should have, because I think that guy is just balls out amazing. House of Black is totally in control. The one thing I learned, my lesson that I learned from this match is teamwork makes the dream work, because that was what it was all about. It was all about teamwork. Joseph Graham, your thoughts on the second match of the night?
Oh, I love it. It's hard hitting. I popped for Sue. I'm not gonna lie. I was glad to see Sue back.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I want to see something more serious for House of Black, though. Like the whole bad guy of the week thing needs to go. I want to have a story for him.
Yeah. I think it's coming. I think it's coming with Blackpool Combat Club. At some point, I think that's where it's going to head. That's my thoughts. But all right, Canada Dry.
I honestly think that these trios titles, they hold people back. Actually,
Okay.
I want to see Malachi Black go on a solo run and just kick everyone's ass. And Buddy Matthews gets held back. Like, I don't really like it. It's cool that they got gold, but I'm not digging the trio titles.
Yeah, it's almost like you have it. What now?
Yeah,
Trey J Styles, your thoughts on the second match?
So I didn't know until I thought about what you were saying about you wanting Brody Lee to be your friend. But then when you said it, like, I was just like, you know what? I bet you he gives the best hugs.
Exactly.
like you know how like a person can just hug you and you feel safe?
Yeah.
Like I imagine that's what a hug from Dallas must feel like.
Oh, I don't want a hug from Dallas.
I want a hug from Dallas.
Butt clenching there.
Hey, look, man, I would give Dallas a hug and a low too. But this match, like I said, I love Sue always. So anytime they bring her, it's just like it's like an extra treat. Yeah. So to have everybody in this segment was really, really good. It was interesting because this to me has been AEW's best buildup of a monster character with the way they do Brody King. Like, Brody King got destroyed this match and just shrugged it off.
Yeah.
And I think that like this is where you kind of things went wrong with like Lance Archer and some of the other big guys that they've had in the past, the ones that didn't last. And to see how they do Brody King, it's like this is really your evolution because, and I gotta say, and I think I'm gonna agree with Joe Graham, this does seem like it comes at the expense of Buddy Matthews, but at least it's not gonna be just Malachi that's gonna get over the most in this.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
I will say one thing that like I heard a few months ago, like Buddy Matthews' contract may have been up. I'm so glad he did not leave and he's still sticking around.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That guy is so ripped you could wash your clothes on his abs.
Oh
No,
yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, he's shredded. I mean, I read an article about his workout schedule and like how often and what he does for each. Holy cow! Like I don't know anybody that can do what he's doing right now in the gym, and it shows. So we get a video package. Christian Cage, everybody's favorite Mr. Captain Charisma. He comes walking into a room. There's a door open with red light and fog coming out, and out comes Luchasaurus. So we know that Christian Cage and Luchasaurus are back together again. I think we should skip this one and go right into our third match. It's the ladies' night. That's right, and it's feeling right. Jamie Hayter bringing it on, her championship against Riho. Here are some of my notes. Hayter has been an amazing champ, and I like the little heelish start at the very beginning, like not full heel, but just a skosh, just to remind you that at some point she's going to be a bad girl again. Hayter just bulldozing over Riho. She was pretty much in control. My lesson that I learned from this match is power always beats flippy flying schnabitz each and every single time. Best sign of the night was the Cody laugh my ass off sign. I thought that was quite hilarious. Rhea does a better 619 than Rey Mysterio has been lately. Her 619 is tight. I like it. I like how she thrusts the legs. Yeah, the running knees from Riho, like my jaw still hurts just watching that. So let's go with Canada Dry. Your first match, number 3.
I thought it was a great match. Great display by Rio. A great display by Jimmy Hayter.
Yeah.
I like that Rio's first loss in a return.
Yeah,
is in a championship match, so she's still freaking strong.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Trey J, your thoughts? Third match.
You know, Rio used to have this thing where when she would go against like much bigger people, like if you think about the Nyla Rose feud and a few of the other ones, where she would come in and it's like some of her moves, because she's about 75 pounds, when she has 2 pounds of bricks in her pocket, like, she would make some of these bigger characters look really, really weak. This was one of those times that it didn't. Like Jamie Hayter came out looking just as strong because even though she sold for some of Rio's offense, like Rio like had a different feel to the way that she moved this time. Like, yeah, she hit the high moves, she hit the high cross bodies and stuff like that, but it wasn't like you were just fully just taking her down. It was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I'm getting hit in the same way as like, oh my God, the bugs are biting kind of hard today. But like,
yeah.
But at the same time, it didn't make Rio look bad because, you know, it was like quick strike. And it was like, I'm you know, so if they can book her that way, where it's definitely the speed and not like, this is not knocking people like completely out for a loop. I think Rio is going to be a much better asset for AEW. Jamie Hayter, of course, best thing going today. And I'm glad that they didn't ruin this with too much Outcast drama.
Yep, absolutely. 100%. All right, Joseph Graham, hit it.
I mean, Trey J said everything I was going to say. Match, I'm glad there was no Outcast like shenanigans. Like, it's nice for once just to see a match play out.
Yeah.
Like, and it took me a few minutes to get into it. I feel like it was a little off at the beginning. I don't know if it's because they're both faces.
Yeah.
But by the end, they had me hooked in. I love the match.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So we do get the Outcast on this episode. They are immediately after this match. Renee's in the back with the Outcast. Renee trying to divide them already, trying to drive a wedge in there so they could argue of who actually gets to face and beat Jamie Hayter. So we go to 2.0 in Hager promo. Matt Menard is wearing an 8-ball jacket. I don't know if he realizes this, but those haven't been cool since like 94.
Remember David Putty on Seinfeld?
Yes. Putty had a 8-ball jacket. Yeah. And then I'm good. If I go to a match when it comes to my town and I'm going to get on the ramp because I want someone from the Acclaim to scissor me. Like I want to have it happen. Like if I got to pretend to be a Make-A-Wish kid, I'll freaking do it just to get a scissoring from him. All right, let's go. Do we want to talk about this? We want to skip it.
Skip.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, it's MJF Day, and I've been to Oyster Bay. I've been to Long Island. A lot of people call it Strong Island. I've been to Oyster Bay. It's a really nice, quaint little section of Long Island. A little face action from MJF in the video package. And then a full band is revealed, a jazz band. And I'm like, holy crap. Are we going to get another Debonair style promo? And sure enough, we freaking do. That guy that guy did, he did Louis Prima. He did him justice. I'm not going to say he could win American Idol, but he sings really good. Like
he's got some pipes.
Good. He's got some pipes. He's the Jewish Sinatra. That's all there is to it. Fans are apparently when they introduced the mayor, the selectman, or whatever his name was,
the town. What was it?
Yeah, town executive.
It was some stupid name.
Yeah, they were not Solidero fans at all. I love the guy's sign that said "Missing Passover Seder." Big Jungle Boy diss. Yeah, I mean, and then of course he rags Mrs. Benedict. And then we get kind of the schmaz. Jungle Boy sucks as a cymbals player. Like I used to play those in band in middle school, and I know how to play the cymbals. That was horrible. Yeah, and then Jack and MJF kind of square off and square up, start fighting, and then out comes Sammy Guevara. He grabs the belt, shoves it in Jungle Boy's face, throws it to MJF, and he walks in for his next match. Let's talk about MJF Day. Canada Dry, you go first. Holy crap.
So, yeah, he has some pipes on him. Like, when we were doing Dinner Debonair, I thought it was a dub over, but that's his actual voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. Like, but he was on the Rosie O'Donnell show when he was a kid singing.
Yeah, he was like 4 or 5 years old. Yeah.
And this was, I think this was out of place, honestly. It just seemed too big. It was too elaborate for what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like this was almost like you'd want to do it at a pay-per-view for an entrance.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't like it.
Yeah. Okay. Trey J Styles, your thoughts on MJF Day?
So I'm actually glad they did this, honestly. I think, and I may not be the only person, but I feel like they were starting to get a little bit repetitive with the way that they were doing these MJF segments going in.
Yeah.
And so you got to change it up every so often. That's just variety is the spice of life. And if you want your champion to have a good, solid reign, because remember, this feud has to last 2 months.
Yeah.
Because of the way the pay-per-view schedule is.
Yeah.
And he has to figure out different ways to build for 3 different opponents without having them all just smiles every time. And the good thing for me too is it didn't make him look bad with the, just the throwing the punches and everything. Like Jungle Boy, he gets in there, but MJF gets the best of him, and you could really see the crowd being into this because whenever MJF looked like he was starting to throw a punch, the crowd was crazy. And when Jungle Boy, everybody started booing like nobody's business. And so, the man is untouchable in Long Island, and this kind of setup was really good because you have the pull apart, the belt and scarf are in the, on the center. Here comes Sammy Guevara walking up, grabbing the belt, showing it off. We'll get to his post-match a little bit later. But, once again, you have all these guys featured because this is your main event angle. And whereas, yes, MJF is there have been some questions on whether or not Jack is there, whether or not Sammy is fully ready for a main event, whether or not Darby's fully ready for a main event. And so this is the way that you build properly. Yeah.
Okay. Joseph Graham, your thoughts?
Okay, first off, stop making me go after Trey J. He's taking all my points. But, I really felt like this was a much-needed change of pace for MJF.
Yeah.
And that last comment that Mr. Isaac said about it being weird for a heel,
Yeah.
I mean, tonight he wasn't a heel. He's in Long Island. He's the baby face of all baby faces.
He's
So, but yeah, like even my wife gave him like the stamp saying, yeah, he's really good at singing. So, you know, if my wife says it, it's got to be true. So,
So
But-
500 points to the serial killer himself.
so my last point, and I know we're running long, but when Sammy Guevara came out and picked up that title, made me realize I have no desire to see that man champion anytime.
Yep.
I just,
Exactly.
I mean, first off, like Dollywood said in our group chat, that man needs to get a new hairstylist because he looks like a child.
Yeah.
He looks like his mom literally put a bowl on his hair and cut
Well,
it.
it's funny that you say that because I know for a fact that that's a Tay design. You know when you get a girlfriend and she likes a certain look on your hair? Because he didn't used to wear it like that. That's
No.
totally so she can rub fingers through his hair.
Look, you can have that. Look at my hair. My wife can rub her fingers in. I don't look stupid like him, so
There you go. Woo.
Well, Tay likes it, so
That's some
That's it.
fighting words right there.
I was like looking at not Joseph, but Isaac's in the chat, and he was like, "Yep, I'm watching this. This is bad." And Dallas is like, "Yep, I'm watching Sammy Guevara with the belt, and I'm completely flaccid." And I was just like, "Wow, Dallas, wow."
I
mean, he went hard. Yeah, that's Dally. He's got no filter whatsoever. That's why we love him.
But what I'm doing lately, just to stick it to him, every time he says something, I'm putting the video of Natalia Markova pinning the girl on her face just to stick it to him.
Okay. This is why I'm not in the chat as often as I should be. All right, so we go to our fourth match of the night. Sammy Guevara, and he is taking on Commander. Here are my notes. Sammy on Commander quick. Great moonsault by Sammy. Sammy in control most of the time during the break. Commander looks off. He just looks off, like horribly off for some reason. I don't know, maybe because Dragon Lee is in the WWE. I have no idea. And then we see Darby in the rafters, and we get the quick win with our boy Sammy Guevara. So Canada Dry, you go first. Your thoughts on the fourth match?
Commander is off because the rest of Cobra isn't with him.
Yes.
The rest of Cobra needs to be with the Cobra Commander.
Where is Destro?
Where you would be a good Destro.
That's true. I've been told that.
Oh man, if you did a Destro for Halloween, oh my goodness.
I'll make it happen.
But yeah, this he was a little off, but it was still an entertaining match. It was still they still had some good high flying moves. There wasn't any botches or anything.
Yeah.
So it was a good match.
Okay. Trey J Styles, your thoughts?
So I was impressed by both these guys. A lot of times, like the flippy stuff is not, sometimes it's overdone. And for the number of spots that they repeated in this match, it didn't there was still some story to it. Yeah. Sammy looked amazing. Sammy actually looked probably more athletic than Commander in the early parts. I think sometimes maybe that's just the thing about for Commander. He just needs some time to get going. For a lot of the matches that we've seen him in so far, like he really he has a little bit of a slower start, and then once he gets going, then he's as crisp as you want to be. Sammy was the right choice to go over because he's in the main event program. His promo afterwards, not great. To talk about all these times where you've main evented, it's kind of like, yeah, look what I used to be, or like I remember my first beer. And I couldn't, and I think that was the point for me when I was just like, but I don't really have a desire to see him champion again. It's like you ran the TNT title like 3 times, but
yeah,
it didn't. Nobody believed in you when you beat Miro. So
yeah,
I think exactly. Sammy really needs somebody to bounce back and forth with. You don't want to see him ramble.
Yeah. No. And that's what he did. He straight rambled on and on and on. Joseph Graham, your thoughts on the match and the promo at the end?
So I didn't like the match.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. unlike Trey J, I thought it was uber repetitive, and it just didn't really add much to it.
You know what's funny is he still went after Trey J.
I mean, luckily this time me and him disagreed, so that's fine. But just he needs to go away. Like, just no, not like that, but like go away so I can actually miss him. Like, he's just been around, and even part of JAS, he hasn't done anything of note. Like, it just he feels like an afterthought. Like, what happened? Like, he's had so many storylines that started and they're just dropped. Like him and the Garcia storyline. Like, there's nothing like memorable about him at the moment. So
yeah, you're right about that.
Yep. Okay. Let's go to our next match. We go to number 5. We're going to have an odd number of matches on this episode of Dynamite, but match number 5 is Hook, the Handsome Devil versus Ethan Page. Why is Ethan Page already in the ring? It's ridiculous. How
Sir, we only had 6 matches this week. The first one was not a match.
Don't count.
this wasn't either. Yeah, I mean, nobody. I hate the fact of how they deal with Ethan Page. That's gonna stick in my craw until they do something, until they shit or get off the pot and let him go.
So Page was just the victim of they needed to fit this match in.
Well, I know, and it sucks. It sucks that somebody of that caliber has to do that. So, Joseph Graham, you go first.
Yeah, like.
Oh, you're not ready, Joseph Graham, huh?
No, like Hook just felt like it. Like, Hook is clearly not the focus of this. It's all about Hardy and what he's doing. I don't understand why Hook has to. There's a rematch automatically on Friday night. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like there's really nothing to talk about. It was like a 2-minute match. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Canada Dry, your thoughts?
Yeah, I see. He took all my points.
How does it feel, guys? How does it feel?
How does it feel?
That's this guy. He's going to go last. Hook. It didn't seem like he. I think that's why you're getting a match on Friday, because. You need Hook to really go over properly.
Yeah. Well, I hope God it doesn't happen, because I'm tired of Hook. I mean, I know Dally will turn off the internet radio and not listen, but I mean, I do. I don't. Yeah. Who's next?
Me.
Sorry, Trey J, go ahead.
All right.
The gummy's kicking in.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
We're on easy street now. I don't know. Like, I hate to see. I feel like everybody in this segment is wasted.
Yeah.
Like the whole Isaiah Cassidy doing the distraction, Hook looking as confused, like not even like kayfabe confused. He looked really confused, like didn't know what to do in that situation. And Matt Hardy is doing stuff, and it's like, once again, a lot of this story is playing out on Dark.
Yeah.
And it also feels like it's just real random. He's hitting him with the belt all of a sudden. Okay, now we're gonna do it. Like, it feels really out of place.
That's the whole thing. It's not really random if you're keeping up with Dark. The problem is Dark is pulling in maybe 15 to 100 to 3,000 people that watch, and like Dynamite is pulling in close to 1 million. You're getting a very small sample size here to actually know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will say the best part of this story is the tweet that Mr. Malcolm Bivens sent out, talking about how he's getting in shape, being able to bench 325, and he ain't scared of Hook no more.
That's funny. Not scared no more.
He's a gift. He's a gift from God, I'm telling you. Nigel McGuinness is in the back.
They should really just sign Moose.
Yeah.
And just let Moose come out as like dressed as Stokely Hathaway.
That would be fun.
And like, oh, like, yeah, I told you that I was working out. Like,
Oh, that would be hilarious.
That would be so freaking awesome. I love it. Nigel McGuinness is in the back. I love it. Nigel McGuinness is away from WWE. One of the greatest Ring of Honor wrestlers of all time. That man's knowledge of wrestling surpasses everyone. He is interviewing. He's getting ready for the big announcement. Tony Khan comes on. He looked like he had about 5 cups of coffee right before he was ready to talk because his eyes were just like wide open.
He did not blink for like 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's creepy. It's creepy. So All In is coming back. They have the rights to All In, and it's going to have happen in England, in London, at Wembley Stadium, which is celebrating its 100th year of existence. Can the Dry kick it off?
Okay, so what I love about this is they finally have their crown jewel pay-per-view.
Yep.
yeah.
This is their WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah.
And kicking it off in Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
That's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
They needed that one crown jewel pay-per-view. And I'm so glad it's not Wrestle Bowl.
I'm still sad we didn't get like a halftime Super Bowl show or something like that.
Yeah. That would... You never know. Tony Khan, I mean, when he's up and ready to go, he's
So
up
is
and
this
ready to go.
replacing something? Is All In replacing something?
No, I think it's in addition to.
Yeah, I think it's an addition. Yeah.
Weren't we getting something in August though normally?
Doesn't Ring of Honor usually have something in August?
Yeah, Ring of Honor has something in August.
Was that Death Before Dishonor or something?
Well, what do we get don't we get a pay-per-view in September then?
Yeah, you get All Out in
All
September.
Out in September.
So we're getting All In All Out right after.
Yeah.
So apparently All Out is being replaced by All In. According to
Okay, that's what it is.
Okay.
So there's no more All Out. It's just All In, and that's the major pay-per-view.
Yep. Okay. Let's go on.
Wait,
so we're going to go.
Over the best part, though. You didn't mention that Adam Cole was there to make the announcement.
Adam Cole was there. He made the announcement of exactly where it was happening. I'm sorry, Adam Cole. I know you watch. I apologize. So let's go to match number 6. Basically, this is,
this was going to be a match.
Yeah, nobody knew. It wasn't on any prediction list that I had. So I'm like, well, I mean, why is there 7 matches? Match number 6 is Blackpool Combat Club versus what I like to call the Trios of Interns. And they basically gave them a butt kicking. It was boring. I mean, it was boring. And then this was the squishiest of squish matches. Out comes sliding in is Bryan Danielson, who does an amazing heel promo.
Oh.
But I want to make sure that everyone understands, the 4 of us in this room understand that everyone is amateur. And he kept hammering it. And each and every time it just meant that much more. So I'm going to go with Trey J Styles. You go first. Your thoughts on match number 6.
Are we talking about the thing that happened afterwards, or are we gonna save that too?
No, we can talk about what happened afterwards.
All right. So basically the Blackpool Combat Club kicked like 4 jobbers' butts during this segment.
Yeah.
Okay. Like there was 3 to start out with, and then a 4th jobber came down. I don't know if you guys know who that guy is, but if you can find out, somebody can put it in the comments who that 4th jobber was, because I know that he's not good on the microphone. And regardless of how brave you're gonna be, you're never gonna get over as a babyface being stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna jump in here. I couldn't beat these 3 guys when it was just the 3 of them. I'm gonna go right here with.
Trey J, there's a thin line between brave and stupid.
Yeah.
No. There's a pretty long line. There is
at least have a bat or a chair or something.
Yeah, I'm just gonna come out here with like half a leather jacket on.
Yeah.
And it's just like he's like, yeah, I'm gonna come over here with my balls in my mitts. Like I can't. It makes me not like Hangman anymore. And it's like, I mean, like it makes me.
But you liked him before? No, you
I
didn't.
don't like Hangman, but it makes me just like him less because now he is devoid of common sense. Like,
yeah, I thought the same thing.
Like, what happened to leading people into a trap? What happened to, I don't know. At this point in time, this whole like Hangman doesn't need friends thing is becoming like a side effect of brain damage from all the butt kickings that he is catching. Like, oh my God, you're the stupidest human being ever, and I feel bad for anyone who cheers from you. And it makes me angry that when AEW comes to my state, even though we are far away from where Hangman's from, they always say, oh, look, it's Hangman's home state. And it's like, God, this is like that time, man. This is like being from DC and admitting that you voted for Marion Barry.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a joke.
I voted for Barry, but not Barry.
This is a joke that a lot of you younger folks will not get. No. However, you do have Google now, and JFB and Joseph Graham do get it because they're my age.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Gotta love crack smoking.
And he got reelected.
And he got after serving time, he got reelected. Joseph Graham, your thoughts on the 6 match?
So yeah, like Danielson just needs to be the permanent speaker for BCC. Like I don't like you all know I'm a huge Moxley fan. Yeah. Love Claudio. Wheeler isn't there yet, but I imagine he will. But just let Danielson talk for him because that man is gold on the mic. Like I love it. He's like, and he makes you believe what he is saying.
Oh, yeah.
Like he was sitting there saying, like, "Oh, everyone's amateurs." I was like, "Yeah, you're right." I mean,
and he took shots at WrestleMania was hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was WrestleMania or more just Raw. I think you're just taking shots at Raw because there's only 30 minutes total of wrestling on a 3-hour show. Yeah. So, but and like, where's the Dark Order? Are they officially done with Hangman? Like, I don't know. I'm so confused because like there's teasing stuff on BTE, the YouTube show. Like they had Cutler talking to Hangman and talking about how Don Callis is the problem, but you still can't. You can't be so dumb as to think you're going to be able to take out 4 guys by yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, totally agree. Canada Dry.
They pretty much stole all my points. Thanks, guys.
You can't go last anymore. No one can.
Going last is
we'll just talk over each other the whole time.
Yeah.
But instead, I'm going to use this time to talk about a date I went on last week.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the date.
So, she was a pretty girl.
Yeah.
And I was worried when I saw her, she'd be like, but she wasn't. She was thin. I was like, okay, everything's in the boxes.
Yeah.
And so, when you go on a date, you bring somebody something. I didn't really do this, but she did it for me.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what she brought me?
What?
Cookies and milk.
Okay.
Now, that's not so bad, but it was in a baggie together.
Oh.
And she's like, it's okay because you can just sip it like a milkshake. And I'm like,
no.
She had logic behind it. And I was just like, I couldn't understand what. So I was like, okay, we'll put this here. And anyway, so I ordered my meal and I got some chicken strips and some fries or whatever. And she just got soup.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can get anything you want. And she yells at me, I just want soup. She yells it at me. I'm like, okay.
You should have offered her cookie milk back. That's soup.
So she gets her soup and she starts blowing it, which is normally fine, but she's in the soup. Like, she's got that orange ring around her lips.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, I'm waiting. I'm like, okay, finish up. I'm going to finish up. We're going to say goodbye. And I can, and we did. And I took the cookies and put them in the garbage around the corner. This was like one of the worst dates I've ever been on.
Wow.
The Bobby Fish joke of the day has been brought to you by Backshaves.com. Backshaves.com.
That's a good call. Yeah, Backstage.com. Wow.
We'll just say that's the Bobby Fish joke of the week.
Yeah, she like rips off the mask and it's like, oh my God, it's Bobby Fish. Damn it.
It was Bobby Fish all along.
It was Bobby Fish all along.
Bobby Fish motorboating the soup.
Yeah. The whole date should be just called Bobby Fish Blows.
Yeah, I agree. We go to match number 7. Holy cow. It's FTR versus the Guns. Here's my notes really quick. This is either going to be amazing or it's going to be a downright horrible match. I like the more serious Guns. I like the Guns being a little bit more serious. They're in control early. I mean, they dictated that first opening match. FTR let them show the world what they can do. They're tag champs. They got to be able to do what they do. So amazing back and forth. They give them the Shannon machine. They kick out. Crowd is fully invested. I don't think anybody was sitting. And then we get FTR winning the tag championships, which we've wanted for like 2 or 3 years. And the Guns lost. Canada Dry, you go first.
I was elated, but the only thing is the placing of this is so weird.
Yeah.
Like, why can't you do this at a pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Because April, they wanted to mess with us a little more. I don't know. Obviously, they're signed to AEW.
Yeah.
I don't know. It would have been better to get like a nice 20-minute match at a pay-per-view. It was entertaining, don't get me wrong, but toying with our emotions that the Guns were going to get disqualified or whack them with the belt. But I would have liked it at a pay-per-view.
Okay. Trey J.
I can definitely see this having been a pay-per-view match. The truth of the matter is I don't think they trust the Guns at pay-per-view. They kind of hype this up as being like, this is really where you're going to find out if FTR is staying or going. Yeah. And that was kind of like the crux of this entire story, I think. Whether or not you believe that that FTR was going or staying, if you believe that tease about the little WWE in the corner.
Dallas bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Because I know there were people like cussing out FDR and everything, talking about something like Forever the Revival or something like that.
Yeah.
The match wasn't bad for what it did. Like, it did keep the Guns looking good. It was some good psychology, I think, with them kind of realizing that they were outmatched, start trying to get DQ'd.
Yeah.
And they really worked Cash Wheeler over in that beginning of the match. It was just like, these guys have really come a long way. Like, this is one of those matches.
That's how long this match was. It was kind of short, wasn't it?
It was about 15.
Yeah, it's about 15. Yeah.
And it really, to me, it's one of those times where you lose and you come out looking better. Like, I don't think people took this reign very seriously from the Guns.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the Guns' fault.
Yeah.
It was the timing, I think, with FTR being gone, with them taking it from the Acclaim being so popular.
Yeah.
It's kind of a hard sell to really, to really find like where they fit in the tag team rankings. I mean, here was a team that got 57-0 on Dark and Elevation, and then they get the tag team titles, and people are still like, who?
Yeah.
Look at the Ass Boys, look at Billy's Kids. And this is one of those times where I think that, they lost, but they did so well. And now we can see, maybe not right now, but a year down the line, 2 years down the line, because these are guys that are not leaving AEW. It'd be stupid for them to leave. A year, 2 years down the road, this is a dominant tag team now. Like, these guys can put in some work, and we know that now. Like, we know that they have the potential to put on like great matches and to do great things, and we're going to be able to kind of watch them grow the same way we watch the Acclaim grow.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Joseph Graham.
So all is right with the AEW tag team division again.
Yeah.
Very true.
Like, you guys know, I hate the Guns, but I was actually like impressed by them tonight.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I got to see this when they're with a team that isn't arguably the greatest tag team in the world right now, FTR.
Yeah.
Also true.
Because FTR can make anyone look like gold.
Yeah.
So
They're like the Bret Hart of tag teams.
Yeah.
sure, I'll give you that one, Canada Dry.
Come
yeah,
on, they're
but,
Bret Hart fans.
I know. Yeah, but like it was like I really enjoyed the whole story of trying to get DQ'd, and the ref is like, "No, I'm not falling for this. I'm not. I know what you're trying to do." Like it was nice, and I enjoyed it, and it's great to see the desperation from FTR.
Yeah.
Like it was just a great match, and I really enjoyed it.
Can I ask you guys something? If you're tired and you're watching an AEW show, does it affect your enjoyment of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I can say that for any
I'm tired.
wrestling.
I don't think I got quite as much out of that as I should have.
Yeah.
Like I went to an AEW live show, and this is when they did like Elevation first and then Rampage after. So like it was hard to really get as much enjoyment out of it towards the end, because it was like, gosh, I feel like I've been here for 5 hours.
Yeah, it's very long.
Yeah.
Like I went to the show last time they were in Philly, the Liacouras Center, and it was an hour, then 2 hours of that. And my
They
son
have
was
a
like,
little mat next to your seat where you can just stick it.
like, I didn't even stay for Rampage. My son was like, I'm tired. I need to go home. So
Yeah. Yeah. It tells you to go. It's time to go.
yeah.
Well, that is where we come to an end, but we are not finished just yet. We have to do our favorite match or segment, and we have to give number of bells. Canada Dry, you're going to go first.
Well, I'm going to give this 4 stars or 4
Okay.
bells.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it stars, but I'll give it bells. And I'm going to give the FTR victory lap the match of the night.
Okay. All right. Trey J.
Wow. Now this is a tough one. I don't even know where to go with this one. I'm gonna give this one 3 bells. I know this is a bit of a dip for me this time. I gotta play the dry role of spoiling the higher scores that people may give. I'm going to say that the best match was Jamie Hayter and Rio.
Yeah.
And I know this is weird because every other match that we had today to me felt like one side did really, really well. I mean, I did enjoy FTR and the Guns, but of course the outcome for that was never really in doubt for me. So didn't really do anything for me. And I think maybe because as it gets later in the day, it's kind of harder to really enjoy. But this match was like, it wasn't overdone. Like every other match just felt like stuff was way overdone.
Yeah.
Like you don't, sometimes there's what's right and then there's what's just enough. Yeah. And for me, this match it did what it needed to do. Didn't have the Outcast jumping in. You didn't have Willow Nightingale and Sky Blue showing up and of course making things messier. This match was just straight up boom versus boom.
Yeah.
Of course, I did enjoy the MJF segment too, but this I think for this is my favorite match, and I'm going to give the show 3 stars.
Okay, Joseph Graham.
So, favorite match is definitely the tag match at the end.
Yeah,
Guns and FTR. Like I said everything about it. I love the story in it. It was just a great match. I feel like there's a little bit of bias, basically, because 48 hours ago I watched one of the worst professional wrestling shows ever.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to go 3.5 on this one.
Okay.
Because I do have the pacing did feel a little off tonight.
Just to comment on Monday Night Raw being the worst show ever, I think because it's the night after Mania is the only reason why it's bad.
No.
We've seen pretty bad shows. We've seen pretty bad Raws.
I mean,
yeah.
the Raw after WrestleMania is usually
but the expectation is there.
Yeah.
And it didn't even fit. That's why it's probably the worst show.
Yeah.
I mean, that coupled with the fact that if Vince McMahon is back, like, I have no desire to support that man at all. So,
oh, you mean Senior McMahon? Because he looks like he should be on a Mexican telenovela as the villain.
That dude looks like the guy who tried to fight Guile in the Street Fighter movie.
Yes. Raul Julia.
Did you hear
Let's not forget Vincent Price.
Did you guys hear they're doing a another live action Street Fighter movie.
Not
As
again.
they should.
Yeah.
As they should.
Yeah, as
They
long as
just
Jean-Claude Van Damme's not in it.
It's like, what are we at? Like Street Fighter 7 for the games? I mean, it's about time.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go with my favorite match was the Jamie Hayter versus and Riho match. I thought it was a banger of a match because you made Riho look great, but you made Jamie Hayter look like $1 million freaking bucks. And that's a huge thing to boost your champ, and get her in that atmosphere where they're talking about, who are the best female wrestlers that are wrestling today. And you gotta pump up your champ. So that is it. We are at the end, but before we go, Canada Dry, you have anything you need to add?
Absolutely not. I'm so tired. I want to go to bed. What's the average?
What was JFB? What was your score for this one?
Oh, I'm going to go with 4 bells.
All right. So that means that we have a total score of 14.5, which, if calculations are correct, brings our score for today to 3.625.
Okay.
This guy's all doing it in his head. This guy's like a mathematician.
He's the Huey calculator.
Look at this guy.
I was about to really check my math, and then Twitter popped up, and I was like, wait.
Joe Graham, are you this good at math as him? Or because you're a banker, right?
I mean, so I'm an AML guy. I don't deal with I'm not like a banker. So I do everything in Excel. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, just as dangerous.
Right.
All right, Canada Dry, you got anything you want to add?
Nope, I told you I'm tired. I want to go to bed.
Okay, so on behalf of Canada Dry, on behalf of Trey J Styles, on behalf of Joseph Graham, I am the JFB.
And remember to just keep fighting.
Oh, yeah. Stick it to the man when you can.
Oh, yeah.
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.